You're out. You're sitting there. You're having some drinks. You're having maybe some nice food, and things are going well. You're like, you know what? As far as first dates or whatever go, this is pretty good. I like this. And then they say that dumb thing, or that inappropriate thing, or there's that whatever. They're rude to the server. There's that moment where you turn into, at least in this way, Nikki from Obsession, and you're just like,
No.
What?
No, don't do it! I thought we were having a nice day!
We are. Sit
Why
down.
does it matter? I thought we were having a nice
We are.
day!
We are. It's okay.
the date was going great until blank.
Wait, tell us more about this movie.
You've not. How are you the one person that hasn't seen this movie? And you have
Everyone's
Peacock.
seen it?
It's such a popular movie right now. It's really good.
I haven't.
I literally
watched
signed up for a month of Peacock just to watch this movie. I thought you were the one that told me to watch it.
No.
It's really good. Obsession, #1 movie on Peacock.
I
Very
texted
good.
Steven and said we have to watch it.
It's kind of like a horror thing. It's pretty good.
So the date was great until someone thought I was his daughter, and he was my dad.
Was
And
there
that-
like a huge age difference there, or did he just look older?
I think he looked older. He was bald, so
What so?
I'm sorry, and I don't know if that's what played into it and why, but that
Young
killed
lady.
that killed his mood. You could just see, so it like ruined the date. But we went rollerblading, and I'm a little better at rollerblading, so I'm cruising through the neighborhood, and he's not that far behind me. It's not like I was like racing him.
No.
He falls. And the homeowner happened to be outside, like we're on the sidewalk, and I can tell he falls. So I go into another driveway and do like a little spin turn. And I'm like, how are you doing? And so the homeowner said something along the lines like, my daughter's the same way, always up ahead of me. They just leave us in the dust.
And that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I think he felt so
Did
uncomfortable.
he correct this person?
No, we didn't.
No.
We rode off.
Sad.
Yeah.
Did you drop a daddy as you were scooting
Ew,
away?
no.
No.
Ew.
The date was going great until
One time I was on a date with a girl. We were at a movie. I was like nudging her neck with my nose, and then like turned and we made out for like 3 minutes, and then she got up and left and was gone until the end of the movie. Like she was gone for like over an hour. And I finished the movie. I go outside. She's in the lobby. I'm like, what's going on? Are you okay? And she's like, your breath is so bad that like I couldn't go back in, and I'm so sorry, but like we gotta go. It was so weird.
I mean, how foul would that have to be for her to just be like, I'm going to sit in the lobby and eat my candy?
But he said they kissed or their noses touched or
Well,
what?
nuzzling, I thought was the word.
Yeah, so that wasn't the issue. How is just sitting next to someone the problem?
Like as soon as that face got that close, she was just like, I'm out of here. The date was great until there's that thing that happened, and then it wasn't so great anymore.
Someone said the date was great until the waiter came over and asked if we wanted separate checks or if it was together. And he looked at me and said, actually, can you get this one? I'll Venmo you. And then he never Venmo'd me.
Wah, wah, wah. You thought you were having a nice date, and then
Went on a date with somebody, and she said towards the middle of the date while we were eating that she normally doesn't date black people, but she thinks I'm funny, so she made an exception.
That's just an awkward thing to say.
Yeah, why?
It's just drop a little low-key racism here. I don't, yeah.
Someone said, I went on a first date to a newly opened restaurant at the time, kind of a nicer establishment, and the whole time she was trying to pick arguments dealing with politics.
Yeah, you got to keep your mouth shut on that stuff.
Someone else said, the date was great until I went to the bathroom, and then when I came back, I saw him talking to another woman at the bar, and he introduced me as his friend, and she said, oh, you're the date.
Oh, whoa.
Is that his fault, or is it the person he was talking to's fault?
Seems like it was a little bit on her, right?
Yeah, because it's the person that was like, oh, you're the date? Like, he can't control her.
The date was great until...
Okay, so I went on an online date with this guy, and Like, in his profile, he looked like he had, like, a beard, like maybe he was, like, a hipster. But he showed up and he sort of looked like a, like, really scraggly, like, Jesus kind of character.
Okay.
And then it turned out he also had, like, a lazy eye. And I felt sort of bad, so I stayed on the date. But then halfway through, he was like, oh, it's nice actually meeting someone from a normal dating site. I usually just get all my, like, hookups from Craigslist. And then he's like, yeah, I just got divorced and I've been going on a date with a different girl every night. So, like... and it just like got worse and worse and worse. So I just had to bail. It was rough.
Yeah.
Listen to this one. Someone said the date was great until he invited me back to his place. And I said, no, I think that's moving a little too fast. He got offended and said, well, I guess I just wasted my whole night. Someone said the date was great until she asked me to take a picture of her. So I took about 10 pictures on my phone, handed her my phone so she could look at the pictures. And she goes, wait, why is your ex still on your lock screen? It wasn't my ex. It was a picture of my sister and I at her graduation. And at that moment, I knew she'd be a little too much for me, just jumping to conclusions and not asking who it was.
Jeez. Sounds a little crazy, actually.
Why is your ex on the phone?
I mean, I guess if you see a picture with him and a random woman, but it would make sense to be like, who's this?
Yeah, who's in this picture with you?
Who is this random person? The date was great until...
Been the one, on the second date to have one too many, and, one time I actually ended up getting sick all over my date. So that never happened again.
So it was going great till you barfed on him?
Yeah.
I would like to hear his tale too, probably.
Someone said, I bet you would be the same. The date was great until I got puked on. Someone said, the date was great until he asked me if I was cool with kids. And I said, yeah. And he said, great, because my 3 are going to be joining us. His kids showed up halfway through dinner. I didn't even know he had children.
Surprise! The date was great until...
all right. So first kiss, end of the night, right? And then immediately afterwards, the girl goes, have you ever thought about cannibalism?
What?
And I was like, what?
Did we hear you wrong? Have you ever thought about what?
Cannibalism, like eating other humans.
And
it's just like, no, I'm out of here. What just happened?
My assumption would be that you want to eat me, I think.
Why would you ever ask someone that?
I could not even begin to guess.
That's not an icebreaker.
No. Maybe they're trying to be funny, like, oh, this will break the ice.
I don't know. Someone said the date was great until she started crying, and I thought something was wrong, so I asked if she was okay, and she said, yes, the song that's playing right now reminds me of my ex. And then she cried for the next 20 minutes.
So, do you want me to comfort you? What am I supposed to do right now?
How about do you want me to take you home?
The date was great until...
Well, the date was actually going really well until, like, the end of the night when he walked me to my car, and I'm very short. I'm only, like, 5'2", so I wear heels all the time, and he actually wanted to take one of my shoes home with him.
He just like, hey, great night. Can I have one of them shoes, Cinderella?
Yeah, and not even both of them. Like, it's not even like, he wanted to wear them. Like, even that would have been a little outside the box, but okay. But no, he wanted one of my shoes.
So obviously you gave him one.
Oh, no, I could not unlock my car fast enough and get home. No. Yeah, no. Never saw him again.
Listen to this one. This is kind of like a crazy thing. Someone said the date was great until I accidentally called her by my ex's name, and I apologized immediately. I felt terrible. And she said, it's okay. And then she called me by her ex's name. We just sat in silence for about 30 seconds. She did it obviously on purpose, but that's so petty.
I mean, she was trying to be funny, probably. Don't you think she's just trying to be funny?
Or is it like crazy?
A little both, maybe.
Like you're going to call me by your ex's name, I'll call you my ex's name.
I suppose a little bit of that. I mean, if she laughed afterwards, maybe you could have moved on. But if she just said it and stared at you, maybe that's...
They sat in silence.
That's a little awkward.
That's so uncomfortable. Someone else said the date was great until he asked me to guess his age. I guessed 33, and he said, wow, that's really old. I'm only 31.
Wow.
What? You're off by
2 years
2
off.
years.
The date was great until...
Let's see, man. I guess the worst date I ever went on was I met this girl for dinner. We drove separately. We just met up at the restaurant, and she showed up with her parents. It was almost like an interview. It was like a horrible job interview that you for a job you don't really want. Just kind of. it felt like it was a little intrusive, man. They were just asking me questions about my life and like what I did for a living and how I plan to take care of their daughter.
If that kind of thing's happening, are you upfront with like, this is a first date? Like, I'm just meeting this person, because I feel like they might be under the impression that's not the case.
Yeah, because how are you planning on taking care of her? Well, I've just met her, so we're gonna get dinner. But
I was
that's all
going to
I
pay
have
for
planned.
dinner.
Yeah,
Make sure she got in that Uber, okay? But maybe she's riding home with you.
that's wild.
Can't even imagine.
Meeting the parents.
I mean, I'm great with parents, so I mean, I can't imagine, but
Someone else said the date was great until she asked me to pick the restaurant. I picked one that I loved. And when we got there, she said she hated that kind of food. I said, then why did you make me pick? And why did you agree to come here? And she said, I just wanted to see what you're going to choose. When he chose that restaurant, why did you still agree to it? And just in that moment, just say, oh, actually, I don't really like that kind of food or something.
I just wanted to see what you decided. Oh, okay.
Yeah, why? Is this a test? Someone said the date was great until she asked if I had ever been arrested. And I said no and asked her the same question. And she said, not yet. And then changed the subject.
Maybe she was being funny.
I think she was trying to be funny.
They're looking for me, but they haven't found me yet.
Not yet.
The date was great until...
Very pretty girl. Seemed very attractive, good body and everything. Pretty good personality until she got really political on the date, which is a really big turnoff. Like, I don't have to hear every single stance on health care and poverty and war, and it just made the date seem like I was in a lecture class back in college.
It's tricky, too, because I mean, we're seeing a lot of stuff that's kind of like, oh, they got political. And then they realize, like, oh, you're on the opposite side of me. Let me try to argue with you. And that's what I'm turning this debate or this date into. It's like, you know what? If it's important to you that somebody has the same views as you, you've already assessed that's not the case. So what? Now what's the point? Like, you just wash your hands of this. Be like, oh, sorry, I'm very whatever.
Just change the subject. I don't think you can do that right away at the beginning of dates. Like, get into arguments like that.
I would just be a mood killer. And like, I mean, if you do sense that they're on the same page as you, what are they going to do? Sit and you guys are going to have like oh yeah, I hate the other side conversation. Romantic.
Someone said the date was great until I realized he had been texting someone the entire time. And finally I asked, who are you texting? And he said, my date. And I said, what? You're on a date right now. And he said, I know. I mean my other date for tomorrow night. No. I guess he was honest, but it put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, you're obviously more excited about that one than the one you're on.
Clearly. And then it's like, just lie and say it's a friend or something.
Oh, sorry, just a friend of mine's texted me. Blah, blah. It's my mom.
Yeah, you don't need to really say who it is.
The date was great until...
We had a lot of fun. We connected. It was cool. But he did some things. I'm pretty liberal, and he's a little conservative.
Oh.
And
So did he start talking like politics during your date, or...
No, he wanted to say grace before a meal and whatnot, things like that. You know, I went with it, but, I felt a little uncomfortable.
Listen to this one. Someone said, I went on a date with this dude from Tinder. We met at a restaurant. After we went back to his place. In his apartment, it was like scary movie memorabilia everywhere. I'm talking masks, dolls, swords, knives. We watched a scary movie, of course, and asked if he could wear a mask if they were ever to sleep together.
Also, how about I put on a little bit of music? It's like colonial children singing. Like, what is it? Where am I right now? I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
The date was great until
his wife showed up.
Some guy's wife showed up on your date? I feel like there's a lot we need to know about this.
Wife actually rolled in, she had his little GPS on his iPhone on and knew where he was and just walked right in on our date.
So he's cheating on her.
He was definitely cheating on her.
I guess I'm unclear though. Did you know she existed?
I had no idea.
Okay.
I had no idea. I really didn't. But, oh, my God, it was horrible when she came in. She really honestly tried to attack both of us. She went for him first. Then she threw my drink in my face. It was terrible.
That sucks, too, because, you just think, I did not know he was... I didn't know.
Someone said the date was great until she told me she's really into astrology. And I said, I don't know much about it. So then she asked for my birthday, and then she was asking for time and location. And I didn't know the exact time I was born. And she asked if I could call my mom and find out. And I said, yeah, maybe another time. And she said, well, we're probably not compatible then.
Listen, you should have just called your mom, because your mom would have been so excited if you're like, hey, Mom, yep, I'm on a date right now, and there's this girl. She wants to know the exact time that I was born. Your mom would be like, put her on the phone.
Let me tell you about that day.
You're just sitting there while they're sitting down visiting on the phone. She's on the phone on your phone with your mom while you're just sitting there eating your cheeseburger. Like, this sucks.
Someone said the date was great until I went to give him a hug goodbye. He completely misread it. He went in for a kiss. I went in for a hug. I tried to dodge the kiss, and somehow we ended up headbutting each other.
Whack.
That would hurt.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, headbutts aren't where it's at, you know.
I feel bad that he misread the situation, and if it was great up until then, I feel like you have to give him another chance. Someone said the date was great until he was asking about pet peeves, and he asked what my pet peeve was, and I said people who chew with their mouth open. So he immediately starts chewing with his mouth open.
Of course.
And I couldn't tell if he was just testing me, thinking it's funny, or just didn't care. And someone else said the date was great until he got there, and I realized he lied about his height. His dating profile said 6'2". He was maybe 5'6". I don't really care about height, but I did care that he lied and thought I would never notice.
Well, you know, you'd be off by an inch, right? But any more than that, a person's going to look at you and go, I don't know.
Yeah, you're my height. What?
Because, like, you know roughly how tall you are.
Yes.
So if you're looking at somebody and it's like, we're the same size. I don't know.
Why lie about that?
I don't know, because it's such an easy one to get
caught on?
debunked.
Yeah.
For sure. The date was great until?
Yeah. Oh, my God. It was so bad. We were in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and we were pretty much alone. There was nobody else in our row, and I smelled this, like, overwhelming, sulfur, disgusting smell. And it was quite obvious it was him, because I know I didn't do it.
Did you tell him, like, listen, you stinky?
No, because I wasn't really that comfortable, but I excused myself after that because I was like gagging at that point.
Huh.
I told him I had to go get a drink in case it wasn't him for some strange reason. Maybe somebody left off a stink bomb or something, but it was disgusting.
You know, maybe at first I thought maybe we spoke to the guy you went out with because his date was similar, but I think he had bad breath. And
It was breath.
Somebody's ripping one in your situation, right? That's what's going on there?
Or letting off a stink bomb.
Yeah, I got all excited because I was like, oh my God, we talked to the person you were also his bad date. But I don't think that was the case.
Someone said the date was great until he tried impressing me because we went out for Mexican and ordering in Spanish, and the waiter looked confused and asked him to repeat himself. He doesn't speak Spanish, and he finally admitted he had been learning stuff from TikTok.
Oh.
That's a bad move.
Yeah, you tried. You tried. And you failed.
Why? In Fargo, North Dakota, you can't try that. I can understand, like, if you're down in, like, Mexico or something and you think you're, like, fitting in, but still, if you don't know it, don't do it.
No. The date was great.
Actually, I was agreed to go out with him. I had met him online, and we met at a restaurant, and I thought, oh, he's pretty good looking. We sat down. And we were talking, having a good time. And then the bill came. And he just stared at the bill. And he was looking at it. And and then looked up at me for a moment. And I was thinking to myself, okay. Then he kept just looking at the bill, looking at me. And then I said, well, let's get going, And so then he goes, okay, let's get going. He gets out of his chair and he starts to walk away. And I said, well, are you going to pay this? He goes, no, you can take care of it. And I was like, well, at least pay your half or whatever. And he goes, yeah, okay. And he throws down like a 20, and the bill was a lot more than, the invoice was a lot more than that. And he starts to walk out the restaurant. And then when we get to the parking lot, he like tries to kiss me and maul me in the parking lot. I mean, it's like, I'm not saying that, but first of all, he was rude and it was a big turnoff. And second of all, he didn't even say anything. He just stared at the bill, stared at me, stared at the waiter, like waiting for me. It was so awkward and uncomfortable, and it was kind of grossed me out. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, understandably so. Yeah.
Someone said the date was great until she said, I think I know you. Turns out she had dated my brother a few years prior. She didn't recognize me until halfway through dinner, and she realized she recognized me from photos. My brother had never mentioned her. Neither of us knew what to do next. It was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think that you just end the date. Oh,
Yeah.
It was nice to know you. Thanks. Let's get the check.
You've learned all you need to know, probably. Yeah. The date was great until...
Okay, so I was on a date with this guy, and the restaurant took both cash and credit cards. And at the end of dinner, he was like, so I don't have any cash on me. And I was like, oh, neither do I. And he was like, would you mind getting it on your card? Okay, but he could just as easily done it on his card too.
Sure.
And I was like, should we split it? Because it was a super expensive meal. And he's like, I think it'll be easier just to run one card for the waiter.
Oh, yeah. Don't want it to be too hard on the server, for sure.
Yeah, you're going to make it too complicated.
Can we get this in 2 checks? Boom. That was the end of the complication. Done and done.
Someone said, I was on a date and it was going great until I realized she invited her best friend sitting at a table behind us. Apparently, she just wanted the friend to keep an eye on things, but every time I would look over, her friend was staring at me.
Well, it was I think you got to be more discreet if you do that. But the whole concept of like the date spy, I think that happens more than you think, especially when it's like, oh, I met this random person. I'm going to go meet and I'm kind of nervous. And then you go to the place where you got eyes, right?
Yeah, but you can't have them staring. Do you warn the person or no? I think you can't warn them because that's going to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't think you can tell them, right?
Maybe later, like a
Defeats the
couple
purpose.
days later. And you may recognize her. She was spying on us at the restaurant.
This is the woman who had a fake mustache on at the bar the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I noticed. What is it Groucho Marx, the black glasses and the giant fake nose? Like,
I don't know.
I noticed you. Yeah, it was a good disguise, though. The date was great until...
Oh, all right. So I went on a date with somebody who was in the art world. So we went to a museum, and it was awesome. But the trouble was they knew everything about everything, and they wouldn't stop talking, and they definitely thought I was dumb. So by the end of it, I was just like, I need to get out of here. This is like a history lesson. Such a bummer, and I felt like a total idiot.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Someone said the date was great. This is something I feel like that would happen to us. The date was great when he told me until he told me he was a morning person, and I said I am too. And he asked me what time I usually wake up, and I said 5:30 in the morning, and he said, "Oh, I mean more like 8 a.m." That's not.
If it's the morning anymore.
Yeah.
Boy, that's late in the day for us.
That's what I think. Yeah. Oh, so you sleep in a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the date was great until...
Just constantly talks about himself. Not to the point of where they're telling you about themselves, but to where everything is I, me, that kind of thing. I like hearing, somebody, this is what I do, and stories and things like that. That's not my issue. My issue is just that very grandiose macho crap.
Okay. So you just didn't get a word in edgewise. It was all about them. Gotcha.
And yeah, then like this isn't. We're not compatible.